Hi, this is welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm trying to do a little different opening. Let me do take two. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the faux silk technique. But I'll introduce myself first. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Warner, New Hampshire. I have been demonstrating for about 4.5 years and making cards for a lot longer than that, maybe close to 10 or 15 years. And I love spreading the joy of making cards and then sending cards and having people receive the cards and enjoy them. So it's joyful all around. And I'd love to help you make cards too if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'd love to be yours. You can get in contact with me through this Facebook page or by emailing me, and that's at Lorraine@chatandcraftwithlorraine.com. All right, so we can get started. Hi, Jan. Thanks for watching. So I have a free Zoom class every Tuesday night. The info's posted on my Facebook page, but we do the class on Zoom. And last week, one of the members of the class that comes quite often, Pam, taught us how to do the faux silk technique. So you can see there is a piece of tissue paper used to make that faux silk look, and it's adhered over this piece of patterned paper or designer series paper. This is one of the cards that I made last week or on Tuesday night. This is another one, and this one has Wink of Stella on it, rubbed on it with a little bit of alcohol. I dipped my blending brush in alcohol and then some squirted out Wink of Stella on a block, put my blending brush in that and spread it on here. Today we're going to skip that step because I can't get the cap off my glue stick. Real life problem. So we're going to use Tombow glue. And when I tried adding the Wink of Stella with the Tombow glue, I got some discoloration on my paper. It doesn't look bad right now. A lot of it faded, but you can see it over here a little bit. And so I don't want to get that discoloration again. So we'll skip the Wink of Stella. Here's another card I made. This is printed tissue paper, and the thinner and cheaper the tissue paper, the better. So get your tissue paper at the dollar store or someplace where it's pretty thin. So this is just a snowflake pattern. This tree pattern was also in the pack from Dollar Tree. And we're going to make a couple of cards. There was also white tissue paper in that. So we are going to make a couple of different cards today. So I'll put these dimensions in the description box afterwards, but I have a regular card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a mat that's 5 1/4 by 4, so just a 1/4 inch shorter on each dimension. And then my DSP is not the right size. So let me grab my trimmer. This piece should be 3 3/4 by 5. So this is also a 1/4 of an inch smaller in each direction. Okay. Well, good thing we found that out before we did the next step. So this is the piece of DSP that I'm going to cover with the tissue paper and use the faux silk design on. So the first thing you do is take your tissue paper and crumple it up. Then you're going to open it up a little bit and crumple it up again so that you get lots of different comments. Please say hello if you're watching this live. I'd love to know who's there. And if you're watching the replay, thanks very much for doing that. All right, so here's my tissue paper, nice and crinkly. Here's my patterned paper. And I'm going to use my silicone mat so that it's not too sticky on my work surface. And I'm going to use a piece of sponge. Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell these little sponges anymore. You can use a piece of regular household sponge if you want. Just something, excuse me, something to spread the glue around. So I'm going to put, you're supposed to use a glue stick to do this, like I said, but my glue stick won't open. So I'm improvising. So I'm taking that glue and I'm just going to spread it all out. I want my tissue paper to stick to the whole thing. And it's making my paper look a little bit darker so I can kind of tell that I've got it on there. And then I'm patting this down and I'm not going to take out the wrinkles. That one might be a little bit big, but if I pull it up now, it's going to rip. But you want that texture in those wrinkles in there. We might cover that one up. We'll see. Hello, Candace from Maine. Welcome. So glad you could watch. I'm in a lot of snow. In fact, I'm doing this with my generator on today because we lost power last night. And we got about 7 or 8 inches of snow. It's beautiful. Okay, so I just trimmed. You can see the piece of tissue paper was bigger than my piece of patterned paper. And I just trimmed it off at an angle at the corners so I can fold the tissue paper over and not have it be real bulky on the back and make it hard for this to stick. So now I'm going to pull my tissue paper nice and tight and just smooth it down. Okay. I might need just a tad more glue under that piece I left a little bit big. You can trim it so that it's kind of close in size. And now I'm going to put this on a mat that is 5 1/4 by 4. And I should get off of this silicone mat because it's sticky. And now I don't want anything to stick. I have a little bit of tissue paper hanging out there, so I just kind of tucked it under, used my nail to tuck it under a little bit. And if you need to, you can add a little more glue there. There you go. Okay, so now this will eventually go on a Granny Apple Green card base. This is going to be a card for my grandson, but I'm going to decorate it first in case I want to put some twine on it or anything else. I think I'm going to go landscape. And so here's what happened. Here's the story behind these two things. I thought I wanted to mat this on a bigger square, and then I decided I didn't want to mat it. I wanted 2 white squares that were the same size, side by side, and I didn't like that. Oh, maybe I want to do something wonky. So then I decided, well, I'll just put it back in and glue them both down like this and I think I'm going to stick with that and put that on there. So I didn't want to waste it. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm going to stamp my sentiment on the piece of Granny Apple Green. I'm going to use Night of Navy ink, And this is the stamp set, A Grandkid. This is one of the most popular stamp sets that Stampin' Up! Sells. I think it's been the best seller for a couple of years in a row. And my grandson will be 4 at the end of the month. So I'm going to use So Smart, So Fun, So Sweet, and So Wonderful. I'm going to send him a couple of cards. Cards in the mail, cards on the day of his birthday. He loves cards. He's been opening cards and enjoying cards for a long time. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side just a little bit and up towards the top just a little. There we go. And then that will go over here, and I'm using a little robot from, this is a retired stamp set. I apologize. It's called Nuts and Bolts. But I'm spending a lot of time at my daughter's in Massachusetts, and most of my stamps are there, and so I decided to use this one because that's what I had here today. So let's see. What do you think? Should it have the... I think I want the white around it, actually. I think I do. So I'm going to put the green one down first. Do I want to pop one up? I am. I'm going to pop the green one up and glue the white one down. It will be wonky. You guys are commenting, love the wonk. Well, maybe wonkier than we want. But it's only paper, so it's fun to experiment, right? It's good to play around with things. This is a one-of-a-kind card. I probably won't make this one again. Could also do something like that. I'm going to go with it like that. And I'm going to glue this one down. All right. I love making Christmas cards. I really enjoyed making Christmas cards, but I'm done now, and it's fun to be making some birthday cards again and other kinds of cards. Okay. Oh, I didn't have my paper on the grid. Well, that'll have to be close enough to being straight. Okay, and I'll pop up one side of this guy a little bit. There, and is that going to fit? I have the little ones right here. Let me grab a little one for right there. And the side of his head a little bit. I love these little robots. They came and went so quickly in one of the catalogs. I was disappointed, but they really are cute. Hi, Jackie. Oh, I'm glad you like the white border. That's what I decided on. Okay, and a little bit of glue over here. And what's this foot doing? Does that foot need glue or a dimensional? Yeah, I'm going to put a dimensional on that foot. It's just kind of hanging out there. Okay. So there's our front of the card. And then this will go on here like that. Now you could use tear tape, you could use seal, you could use the liquid glue. Because this is a little bit thicker and it wants to curl because of the glue, I'm going to just put some tear and tape on the back. And because it's going to withstand, if he likes the card, it might get towed by one of his trucks, or opened and closed a lot. And sometimes the cards don't do too much. But if he likes it, it needs to be sturdy. That's a good plan, Candace. Stay inside and make cards when the weather is nasty. It's actually quite sunny and nice here. I do hope to get out for a walk later. I'm just peeling the release paper off. Okay. I forgot to cut paper for the inside of this. But I'll put a white piece inside, and I'm going to add to an amazing grandson and you are so loved on the inside. I want to show you some new bling that's going to look great on this. So I just got my pre-order, and so these adhesive backed milky dots come in a few different colors, and I think those blue ones would look great on here. Oh, there's also these enamel dot essentials that are blue. Oh, I think I'm going to go with those. They're a little bit darker. I love to add a little bit of bling. Okay, so we have some different sizes here. I think I'll put a big one over here. Of course, my take your pick tools are in Massachusetts. Nothing is ever, or everything is never where I need it. I have some things and not others. And I'll put this one right there. So there's our first card with the faux silk technique. It's really fun. And then if you wanted to, you could add the Winkostella around it. So here I showed you a little bit about this next one. Here's a piece, another piece of the tissue paper that came in that pack, and it has the trees printed on it, and it's actually white, but I tried it with a white background and I didn't think it looked like much. I actually like this one on the Very Vanilla much better. I feel like the trees pop a little bit more on this one. I'm not too often a Very Vanilla person, a Very Vanilla card maker. But we're going to try it on this. We're going to go through with that. So I'm going to take my piece of tissue paper, which is just cut a little bit bigger than my 3 3/4 by 5 piece of cardstock, and I'm gonna scrunch it up. Seems so weird to do that to something before you use it. Get it all wonky. Okay. There we go. I'm going to put this on top of my mat, and I'm going to put the liquid glue all around it. If I left the glue like that, I think you would see it through everything. So that's why I'm just going to smooth it out and make sure it's all covered. Okay. I think I have the right side of the tissue paper facing up. One side was just a little bit shinier than the other. And you do want some wrinkles in it. It gives it nice texture. There you go. I have a little air bubble there. I just press down on it a little bit. Encourage it to find its way out. I can tell it's not sticking right there. So I'm just going to put a little more glue there. Now again, I'm going to trim these corners off just to cut down on the bulk. I'm actually going to trim that a little bit too. I'm going right even with that point of the corner. Yes, Courtney, I'm in Warner. Yay. All right, now I'm going to, oh, I'm on my sticky mat again. I should remove that so I don't glue myself to the mat. Okay, and now just pulling that over nice and tight to hold it all in place. Okay. And doesn't that look pretty with those trees? I love it. I love those trees. And I think this tissue paper looks better like this than it did just plain. I think this brings out the trees quite a bit more. All right, so I'm going to put this on. Let's use the tear and tape on this layer. Put this on with some tear and tape because, like I said, it does want to be a little bit curly. Okay. If you use your bone folder to rub that tear and tape down, it sometimes helps that release paper to come off even easier. It's not too bad. Just one more thing to find little pieces of around your house, like the dimensional backings. The tissue paper between the snowflake sheets is thinner. Oh, you might have some thinner tissue paper, huh? You'll have to try that, Courtney. Yeah, this tree tissue paper is amazing. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. And then I'm going to just put that on my Very Vanilla mat. And I brought over my Mossy Meadow ink. I'm going to use the Something Fancy stamp set. This is a new stamp set coming out in the catalog that goes live on January 5th, the January to April catalog. It's a short catalog, and I'm going to use the With Deepest Sympathy. I thought the trees lent themselves to that very well. I think I might want to put some twine. This is from the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. I might want to put that on there, but I've lost my, I've lost my piece that I was going to put my sentiment on. It's got to be around here someplace. Okie dokie. Let's get another piece of Very Vanilla. And I don't have too many, like I said, I don't have too many things here. But I think that sentiment will fit on that. I had something cut out, but it's disappeared. So this is With Deepest Sympathy on a scrap of Very Vanilla. Oh, I don't think I left room for that punch to have space on the top and on the bottom. Got some stuff on that. Okay. So this is the everyday punch. I'm going to try to get that straight. And then I think that might need a little bit of a background. I'm going to step away for 1 second. And see about, yeah, I think I like it on that. We'll do the double label trick. I'm just going to cut this in half. I am going to close this ink before I put my fingers in it. And I'm going to glue this to the top and to the bottom so that it has a little border. And you definitely want to use the liquid glue doing this because you've got to get it just where you want it. There you go. I'll put the glue on this one. There we go. Now we have 2 pieces there. And I'm going to wrap a little bit of twine around this. Oh, Courtney, I'm glad you like that trick. It is a good trick. So I'm going to wrap it around a couple of times and then I think tie a bow. And I'm going to put one of these right around all 3 of the pieces to kind of anchor them in place. It's a little tricky with gluey fingers. Okay, I'll trim that in a minute. And I'm going to pop that up above and below that piece of thread, or baker's twine, linen thread. You know what I mean, whatever that is. So I think on the next few days and Christmas and days after when you're opening presents, I think we all have to watch what kind of tissue paper things are wrapped in and steal some tissue paper so that we can make more cards out of it. And then I'm going to put that right there. And I'm just going to use, oh, I have that string back there. I think I'm going to pop this whole thing up. It won't be too big. We'll just put some dimensionals all over this. What's the largest order of dimensionals you've put in at one time? I think I ordered 14 things of dimensionals once not too long ago because I needed some here. I needed some at my daughter's. I wanted some to give away. Oh, I peeled off the back of that one too. All right. So now this will go on here. And I will, hopefully I didn't get my scissors gunky. Just trim these a little bit. And let's see, I just grabbed those new packages of bling. What did I do with them? These are iridescent rhinestones. I think those are too bright. Those are not doing it for me. There are those milky based dots, and then these are sequins. These are all from the new catalog. I love the bling, can you tell? It's so much fun to just add a little of this or a little of that to your cards. So these up here, I think, are a nice color to go on this. A little sticky there. Okay, so I'm going to use the smaller ones. I like this. It's not too shiny, not too blingy, because it is a sympathy card. I don't want to be too ostentatious or too loud. There you go. So there is another faux silk card. Sorry, that was off camera a little bit, with some milky dots and a little twine. And then here is the one for my grandson. And this one, I also would need to put something on the inside, but I did not cut that piece of paper. I just wanted to show you this faux silk. Yeah, it's really, really pretty. And that tree tissue paper just comes to life. I think it looks so much better on the card than it would on a gift. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will give it a try. You don't need too many different supplies to do it. And if there's anything I can help you with, you have any questions, you need a catalog, or you need some suggestions for materials, I am happy to help. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Get outside if the weather lets you, wherever you are, and happy holidays. All right. Bye-bye.